Investing and making money can be complicated a lot of the times, and today I am here to make it easy for you. Well, at least I hope so, by giving you the 6 tools that I use personally in my day-to-day financial journey. Just a disclaimer here, these are tools that I have found effective, and some of you might not find them that effective, so don't come at me and don't dox me and do bad things to me if you don't find these tools effective, but I can guarantee you there's going to be something in this for you for each one of these tools. And if I have my calculations right, these tools have approximately helped me accumulate around $15,000 over the course of the year. And by the way, these are all free. Before I forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Smash the like button, smash the comment button, smash the subscribe button, smash your laptop. The first tool we're going to talk about, in my opinion, is the holy grail for any do-yourself investor. The apex, the alpha, the supreme, the soprano, the maestro, the Stradivarius, the absolute pinnacle of do-yourself investing tools is Finviz. Finviz has everything. It's primarily a stock screener and has some of the best technical and fundamental indicators, all available for free. You can sort stocks by country. I prefer the US, that's what I do all of the time, and by market cap as well. If you're into larger stocks like Apple, Microsoft, you can sort those out. And also if you want to gamble and put it all in black, you can also sort by micro cap and small cap stocks. There's also indicators like profit, sales, and not only current profit and sales, but also future potential sales, growth over the last 5 years for earnings, ratios like how much debt the company has. And not only this, you also have charts. If you, like me, like looking at charts with green and red, you can also go in there and look at stock charts in a lot of different time frames. One feature that I really like about Finviz and that has helped me in my investing personally is the heat map. This is an industry breakdown of what stocks have performed like over the past year, past months, past week, etc. It can help you identify top performing sectors and also low performing sectors if you're looking for a deal and a bargain in the stock market. This is in fact how I found PNG, one of my, I think, best stock picks so far, because it was beaten down given market trends and I picked it up on the screener. To add on to this, Finviz also has news and tracking in its news and tracking section, and you can get all sorts of news about market updates, company updates, inflation data, unemployment data, etc, etc. All of this makes it a perfect tool, but for me what sets it apart is its ability to also incorporate earnings dates into this. Earnings are quarterly events where companies simply report their revenue, report their losses and profits, their growth, that a lot of investors use to make investing decisions, and Finviz gives you the earning calendar all for free. One of my favorite things is just sorting stocks by earnings date and then seeing if there's some stocks that I like, some stocks that I think are going to do well, or some stocks that I should be on the lookout for in terms of deals. Overall, I would rate this a 10 out of 10, and I think it's made me a better investor by giving me all the information I need in the screener itself. And the good thing is that it can go as complicated or as simple as you want it to. For me, I like to keep it simple. I look at sales, I look at profit, I look at future revenue growth, and other basic indicators. But if you want to really get deep into this, look at indicators like the RSI, indicators like price to cash flow. They're all there, all for free. 10 out of 10 tool in my personal experience. The next tool is ETF Database, also called Verify. This is simply a screener for ETFs. If you've watched any of my videos before in which I've talked about investments in ETFs, you would know that I strongly prefer broad market-based ETFs that hold tons of companies, particularly in the S&P 500 and other American indices. And even if you don't have the same beliefs as me, which you should because I only have the right beliefs, ETF Database or Verify allows you to screen ETFs to your liking. One thing I particularly like about this is that it gives you ETFs by asset class. If you don't like stocks like me, you can find ETFs that are bond focused, commodity focused, currency focused, multi-asset, even preferred stocks, and real estate. But the section that I normally gravitate towards and care the most about is this section right here that has expenses and dividends listed. Depending on your goals, you might want an income first approach or a growth first approach. Since I am relatively on the younger side, even though my joints and my body sometimes don't feel that way, I prefer the growth style of investing. So that particularly means low expense ratios and relatively low dividend yields. Although dividend growth companies have performed just fine over the last 10 years and so on, and given your risk profile, you might actually gravitate towards them. Anyways, that is not the point. Whatever investing style you have, you can sort by expense ratio and also dividend yield. This is all included in the free version. If you sign up for the pro version, you can also sort by dividend frequency. Although for my investment style and purpose, the frequency of dividends that you get is sort of irrelevant relevant. If you only want highly liquid funds with lots of coverage, you can also sort by liquidity and inception date, and make sure you get funds that have a good history. My favorite section though is the return section, and particularly the 5-year return here. There's some other metrics like ESG scores. No one cares about that. Just kidding. I do care about ESG. Fund flows, really detailed risk metrics as well with standard deviation, P ratios, beta, and 5 to 200-day volatility. Also, if you're really risk averse, you can sort by number of holdings. Once you have all of that in, the screen is just going to spit out whatever ETFs fit your criteria, and clicking into them will actually take you to even more details with good information like sector breakdown, market cap breakdown, and asset allocation. And of course, you can also see the top 15 holdings for each ETF, which in most cases is a majority of their holdings, or at least the ones that matter. My usual go-to is find an ETF using ETF Database and then just searching up the ETF on the provider's site. So for example, VU is the ETF we're currently seeing here. You can just go on Vanguard's site and see all of this information all for free. The third tool has to do with insider trading. And don't worry, I'm not motivating you to insider trade, but rather keep in touch with what insiders are doing at particular companies. And I'm talking about openinsider.com. Insiders are just people at different companies holding positions of power and knowledge. For example, CEOs, COOs, maybe particular VPs, chief sales officers, directors, and large investors holding more than 10% of the company's stock. When these insiders buy or sell, there's particular reasons. Most probably, you're not going to be buying a lot more of the company if you believe the company is going to go down the drain, and at the same time, you're not going to be selling all of your stock if you think the company is going to do well. Of course, this is not a perfect correlation, and a lot of the times they just do it in anticipation or optimism, but it's still a good tool to see what company insiders are doing at the bigger companies. You can sort insider trades by purchase, by sale, and also the type of person that is buying or selling these shares. A tip here is to just go for purchase and sale. Don't care much about option exercises and other things, because those are in most cases things that the insiders have to do and not things that they want to do. Once you've selected what you want to see, in my case here, I'm just going to see everything because I'm greedy. You can also sort by filing date, trade date, ticker symbol, and trade value. I like trade value because I'm greedy, so I'm going to sort by trade value here for the last 2 years and click search. And it shows you all the transactions that have happened for that particular period. Another resource that takes this to the next level is Unusual Whales on Twitter. This is probably a gold mine for insider information, as this Twitter account tracks all the buys and sells for people in power, particularly politicians. And they've actually taken this a step further by launching ETFs that track the buys and sells of prominent politicians. For example, Nancy Pelosi, also called the Democratic Unusual Whales Tracker, and Cruz, also called the Republican Unusual Whales Tracker. If you think about it, keeping track of what politicians are doing just to make more money in the stock market might seem a bit dystopian. Why are politicians even allowed to trade? Because they're the ones that are making the laws in the first place. There's politicians out there buying more of Meta stock before voting for banning TikTok. How is this legal? I guess we'll never know, but we can look out for ourselves and track what these people are doing since they have that information. Not just politicians, this account also tracks what other big asset management companies are doing. For example, BlackRock buying and selling real estate in particular areas, also having reports at the end of the year. For example, this report of Congress versus SPY in 2023, where Brian Higgins had a 240% return, followed by Mark Green, Garrett Graves, and David Rouser, all at above 100%. All this in a year where SPY was up nearly 25%. Brian Higgins beat Warren Buffett's yearly performance by tenfold. What a legendary investor, and I'm sure he has no insider information when he makes these trades. Once again, not arguing if they're good or bad, but it's always good to have information. Perhaps the most detailed, highly intuitive, and easy to use tool on this list is ROIC.ai. Simply put, this is a company research tool. You can type the company's name, click enter, and you have basically all the information you would need to make an informed decision. In the first screenshot, you can see information like the dividend yield, market cap, PE ratio, and EPS dilution, and also some very important information like the next dividend, the next earnings, and the stock performance. My favorite section on this website, and why I use this extensively, is their 10-year company financials tab. For Apple, for example, it shows you what the revenues were like in 2011 all the way to 2023. And not just revenue, it shows you the same for free cash flow, dividends, book value, operating margin, net income, profit margin, working capital, basically see all the important ratios. It also gives you a quick snapshot and breakdown of the capital structure a company has. That includes its debt and borrowings, the working capital, which is current assets and current liabilities. And if you're not interested in all the historical information, it also shows you what the quarterly revenue, earnings per share, and dividend per share have been like for the last couple of years in a pretty easy to read format. It also has the latest news that the company's been mentioned in from mostly reputable outlets like Bloomberg and Yahoo Finance, in case you want to dive deeper and see why the company's been in the news in the last few weeks. And if you want to go even more nerd mode, you can also go all the way back to 30 years, and if the company's older, look at its all-time financials. One of my favorite things to do is look at company earning transcripts, and you can find it on this website as well. This is just ridiculous that this is all free. It's free. It's completely free. Although if you are looking to analyze worldwide companies, you might want to get the individual investor plan, which is $21 a month. But for most people like myself who are more interested in the US stock market, the free plan is all that we need. The next tool is something that maybe a lot of people are not going to be happy about, and actually might think is a bit cringe and think, why am I talking about it? But it's helped me since 2016, since I actually got to know about the stock market and other assets, and that is Investopedia. Maybe you've heard of this before, or maybe you haven't, but in my opinion, Investopedia has one of the most extensive knowledge bases available for investors. You can learn about investment fundamentals, all the way from financial markets to portfolio management, risk management, real estate management. Basically anything you want, you can learn on Investopedia. From less technical topics like how to set up a portfolio, risk tolerance, etc., to more technical topics like extensive financial ratios, all is available on Investopedia. No matter what stage you are in your investing journey, whether it be beginner or advanced, you can always learn. And I've used Investopedia over the course of the years to learn about concepts that I find interesting or unique, or just concepts that I'm confused about. Their dictionary and glossary function is extremely good because it allows you to search for particular terms and unfamiliar concepts. And believe me, you'll find everything here. There's probably nothing that you cannot find on Investopedia when it comes to do-it-yourself investing. One of my favorite features in Investopedia is its stock simulator. When you're beginning investing, it can be pretty daunting and scary to press that initial buy button, and Investopedia makes that process easier by providing you with a stock simulator. Here you can practice trading stocks, not just stocks but also options and other securities, all with virtual money, all for free. You can set up different trading strategies and experiment with different investment approaches and find the one that suits you best and the one that you would be more likely to stick with in the long run. It also gives you that initial feel of losing money, even though we all know it's not real money and you need to invest real money to lose it and feel the burn. But in all seriousness, it gives you that initial feeling of watching charts, seeing money go up and down, and seeing that variance in your portfolio, all while also giving you news and market analysis and helping you analyze those economic trends that might make a difference in your portfolio. The community on Investopedia is also great and why I got interested in investing in the first place, and it has tons of people extremely passionate about investing, willing to help you out by writing their own version of what they think is important in the financial markets. The last tool I'll talk about is Google Sheets. Google Sheets is simply a spreadsheet, and it's completely customizable because you start off with a blank one, and it's also very automated. There's functions available in Google Sheets that you can track across cells in the sheet itself and make your investment calculations and saving calculations much easier. Rather than doing a dividend calculation for all of my stocks here, for example, I can just input their yield, input this formula that calculates the dividend yield for one stock, and drag that across the entire sheet to get my dividend payments for each of these stocks for the entire year. Then I can, for example, enter this one formula to get my total dividend payments for the year. This is a simple example of how you can calculate your dividends, but you can also do growth like this and input certain scenarios whereby you assume certain growth rates and see how your portfolio is going to look like 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years from now. So those are the tools that I've been using in the past years to help me save, help me invest, and keep track of my financial journey, ultimately helping me accumulate a lot of money and also keep on track for the future. Let me know if you've used any of these and if you think there's some tools that I missed that other investors should know about. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. You have to do it for the algorithm. I don't think you understand that you just have to do it for the algorithm. Just do it. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.